Oh, now I'm recording now. Hello, this is part of my project requirement for English 21302. A analysis or an oral narrative on Peter Onedera, and I will begin like around now. All right. Reading Peter Onedera's oral narrative, I can say is that he is very influential, not influential, but very hard and passionate on his quest to try and keep the Chamorro language alive and Chamorro culture preserved and like help kept by future generations, which is admirable. Because he's done many literary works like Fafa Nigu, I can't say it, but basically Ghosts and Superstitious Beliefs, and other books or other plays like Al Hagaku, which is quite infamous back when it first came out back in 1997. But first we'll talk about his Ghosts and Superstitious Beliefs, which is more. When I hear from his video recording from Miss Kelly Bowen's video, is that it was more of a attempt to preserve the history, or like the vocal history or conversation. I don't know what it's called. What's it called, King? Conversation history? No, history via conversation, via talking. What's it called? I got 5 minutes, King. All right. I don't know. Forget you. Sorry, Miss. No, it's not mythical. It's not assholes either. That's good. Now it's recorded. We're not. You better not go. No, this is a recording for class. I'm sorry, Miss Kelly Bowman. But like from Peter Onedera's stuff is that he tries to keep everything preserved, like ghosts and superstitious beliefs, and it's like he even describes it on the thing that we saw in the video, is that it was a 24 stories report with artistic drawing inside that tries and keeps the idea of or keeps the story of these ghosts and superstitious beliefs alive in the future, because they eventually either change or just straight out forgotten because they're not written. I don't know oral history. I guess not written history. Stop it. Sorry. So on to the next thing with his playwrights. What I really want to talk about is Al Hagahu, which is the majority of my essay, and basically the most interesting part of my thing. Yeah. Pausing. Continuing on what I was talking about before, I want to talk about Onedera's Al Hagahu, which was a playwright on like a comfort woman back in World War II, from the Japanese occupation back in World War II, and that was the majority of his oral narrative conversation, and I really wanted to talk about that, and I talked about that mostly in my essay. And basically, to sum it up with that is that it was played in the Fine Arts Theater back in 1997 in UOG, Guam, University of Guam High, or Guam, not high school. And I personally found understanding the oral narrative that you see in the YouTube video, is that was his main conversation about it. Well, at least the English part. And he talked about how it received a lot of controversy, a lot of people saying that he did it wrong, and basically that he shouldn't talk about it because he has no right to talk about it. And his response, and I like the way he said it, is that if you can do it better, then go off and do it better. Prove it to me and do it. And he has no problem with that. And that usually shut up a lot of people's minds. And basically, other than that controversial thing, I would find Al Hagahu important because it preserves the Chamorro history back in World War II, basically a fictional history, because he obviously changed the Chamorro voice actors and made sure it doesn't have any specifics on it for the sake of protecting the identities of people he conversed with, and just make the story focus on the story and not focus on the people who participated in and were actually in World War II and were victims. Next one I would like to talk about is, my main thing I like about him is he tries to talk about how he wants to keep the Chamorro culture alive and Chamorro language alive specifically. And while it's admirable and I really do like it, he talks about how he helped out fund UOG's language arts area to try and preserve Chamorro language. But he notes and he says that there's a distinct problem with people who graduate from UOG with Chamorro language is that they don't understand how to informally talk about it. They know how to talk about it formally, but they don't know how to use it in just average conversations, like joking around or just talking to friends or just meeting people without actually having to be super professional about it, like business type thing. And that hurts the language, according to him, and I understand with that because, like, for a language, in order to truly thrive, it actually has to, talk in extremely formal things, and without like people talking about it like in common use, like especially the young children, I don't really think the language can really survive like that. It's going to become a dead language, which is not actually no one talking about it. It's just that no one talks about, like no one uses it as a required, like in society. And that's about it for my conversation. I like Peter Onedera. He makes a lot of attempts to keep the Chamorro culture and language alive, and it will be preserved because of him. Or help, thanks with some help to him. But I don't really think it's going to be truly thriving. Thanks. All right.